All right, we are at week 5 and we are learning today about Paul and Silas and their experience in jail, and how even though they were in jail, they continued to spread the word and the love of God and of Jesus to everyone. Now, Paul and Silas did that by praying, by singing, by sending letters to people that they cared about, and their actions resulted in the prison guard and his whole family coming to believe in God and being saved. Because in the midst of an earthquake, when they could have escaped, they chose to do the right thing, the righteous thing, and stay where they were. So today we're going to learn about earthquakes and the way that we measure how strong an earthquake is. Now, this is going to be an activity that you can do by yourself. However, if you have somebody close by that can help, that will probably make this a lot easier. You're going to start by taking your bottle out of your bag. It doesn't matter what your bottle looks like. Mine is a little Coke bottle. And filling it about halfway full with water. And then go ahead and dry the outside off, because we're going to put some tape on it, and if it's wet, the tape's not going to stick. You're also going to need your bag that is listed week 5 seismograph and one of your permanent markers. There's a pencil in the bag, but I have learned after trying this a couple times that the pencil doesn't work very well. It doesn't make a dark enough line. You're also going to find some pieces of paper, which you're going to need to flatten out, kind of like that. It's okay if they're not perfectly flat. You'll have a roll of tape in there, a paint stick, which is also a ruler. If you look close, there are numbers on it. You're going to start by taping your marker to your paint stick, to one of the ends. Come on, little tape. You might need your scissors from your bag too. To cut your tape once you get it started. Goodness gracious. There we go. So you can take a piece of tape, tape your marker down. And you're probably going to need a couple of pieces of tape. You really want your marker stuck on there well. And pay attention to where it ended. There we go. Tape that piece right there. And I'm just going to keep sticking them on until I feel like it's really stuck on there well. It's still a little wiggly, so I'm going to do a couple more. I'm going to do a long one and kind of wrap it around, I think. See, I'm kind of wrapping it on an angle so that it'll hold it a little bit better. There we go. Now that's pretty good. I don't think it's going anywhere. Ugh. But I do have tape in my mouth. Now you're going to take the cap off your marker, and you're going to put your paper by the bottle, and you're going to figure out where on your bottle you have to tape your ruler so that it'll touch the paper but not be so heavy that it doesn't really move on the paper. So for me, it's right along the top edge of where the wrapper would have been on my bottle. So if you have one like mine, you can use that as your guide, just right there along that top. You're going to need plenty of tape for this too. You're going to tape it on there real well. Tape, tape, tape. Tape, tape, tape. I made that piece a little bit big. Oops. Did I make it too high? Might need to pull it down a little bit. There we go. Tape on there. Okay. So now it looks like this. And you'll see that when I move the bottle, the pen can draw. You're going to start with the pen all the way far end of the paper. Now what happens when there is an earthquake is the seismograph measures how much the earth shakes. And there's a roll of paper that gets fed constantly through the machine. So if there's no earthquake and the paper's fed through the machine, it turns out to be just a straight, boring line. However, if there's an earthquake, and I'm going to shake the table while I pull the paper out, you'll see that the line gets kind of crazy. And that's how we know how strong an earthquake is, by the points or the peaks on the seismograph. So I hope you have fun making some earthquake tracks and figuring out what matters most in an earthquake. Is it the speed of the shake? Is it the direction of the shake? You'll have to see. But in everything, no matter what, even when your life feels like you're on shaky ground, you can have confidence that because of the helmet of salvation, everything is going to be okay. That God is with us, that God's grace surrounds us, God's love embraces us, and there is nothing that we can do to separate ourselves from that love and that grace. We are His children, and He offers us that freely. All we have to do is believe. Have fun.